Howdy doodly, everybody, and welcome into another night of casting. Tonight we have for the Zygarde League Week 10. We got Bush Check for the first time on the channel. Gonna be coming up against Shiggy Wiggy. Ooh. Now, we never had Bush Check on here before, and you're thinking, well, Hyde, why not? Well, that's because we've not had them on for the Zygarde League because they are replacing another late edition, a late dropout. That was a substitute for another team that had to drop. So either way, they're coming in. They're still in here, so they're here. So they are replacing LX. So they're replacing Lunex within the Zygarde League. So they're inheriting all of their stats coming into this as well, which is going to place them in 11th place. So that does mean that they're in a bit of a sticky situation. They do need to get at least 2 wins, 2 full set wins. So they need to win tonight and they need to win next week. Because guys, we're in week 10 of Zygarde League. There's only 11 weeks of this. And then the following week after that, or whenever we plan to have it, will be the playoffs. Guys, we're 2 weeks away from playoffs, our top 8 teams. But don't let me just sit there and gaslight you about it. Let's go take a look at the standings. So if we take a look at the standings here, already we can tell we have Secret Tech in first place there, and we have Thanks Gaming in second. What? I mean, for the longest time, these teams have been tied for first place. Oh, wait, no, that still says first. And Thanks Gaming is second. I forgot to update the placement on that one, all right? Thanks Gaming is in second place. They don't have the same number of wins. Apparently I'm being biased, and I don't know how to edit and check my stuff. But Thanks Gaming is in second place right now. They lost to Shiggy Wiggy of all teams. 3-0'd by Shiggy Wiggy 2 weeks ago. And this is the team, Shiggy Wiggy, that Bush Check is up against tonight. So they're up against a Titan. Or rather a Titan Slayer, I should say. And that's going to be a very, very hard hurdle to come over. So that is in the pocket there. That's going to be something that's definitely going to be rough for Bush Check to try to overcome. But Secret Tech is not undefeated any longer. Last week, even though Thanks Gaming did not come out on top with the win, they came out and brought it to a game 5, which takes 2 games off, which means there are now no teams left within the Zygarde League who are undefeated. Everybody has had the taste of defeat. But that's not all for us. We do have Kedic rounding out third place. They are hanging on there. First, it was Shiggy Wiggy and Arson duking it out. Well, now it is Shiggy Wiggy and Kedic duking it out here because the winner, if Shiggy Wiggy wins this set, this could put them in a good spot to start to take third place away from Kedic. Oh, hang on there. There we go. Yeah. No, they could be in a position to take third place away from Kedic. They would be in a 7 wins, 2 loss scenario. But they would have more games won than Kedic would. So that is something that you need to absolutely look at. Then we look at Tempo. Tempo is in our 5th place here with 6 wins, 2 set losses, 19 total games won, 8 lost. But you might also notice that they are neoned up from 1st to 5th. That's because these 5 teams, Secret Tech, Thanks Gaming, Kedic, Shiggy Wiggy, Tempo, are guaranteed into our playoffs. 5 spots taken, only 3 remain. Now you might be thinking, well, Arson's sitting there pretty good. They're at 4-4 with a 14-14. Literally a 50% win rate. But They are not guaranteed into the playoffs yet. They are only highly likely. It all comes down to how EX Trainers, Midnight Lizards, and Mew World Order play out. If these teams, specifically if Mew World Order wins their set this week and next week, and Arson their loses their next 3 sets there, and I'll explain why 3 sets for Arson in a moment. But if they lose their next 3 sets here, the Mew World Order is in a position to knock Arson down a peg and overtake Arson's slot. That also means EX Trainers and Midnight Lizards could do it, which means Arson has a chance to be into the bottom 4. However, Arson has not completed their Week 9 set yet. They will be duking it out with the Midnight Lizards on Saturday. Time to be decided still, so we don't have a time for that yet, but it will be on Saturday. So this coming Saturday, Midnight Lizards and Arson will be duking it out for their Week 9 set. So, due to scheduling conflicts, stuff happens, things happen, so that is going to be absolutely A-okay. We are going to get that done. But yes, Arson is not guaranteed, just highly likely. If they win against the Midnight Lizards on Saturday, then yes, they're absolutely going to make it through into playoffs no matter what. But if they lose, they're still in that position where, but EX Trainers, Midnight Lizards also going to be in a spot to take our top 8. They're looking to round out to fill out the last slots to not be in the bottom 4. They are in the strongest position because all they need over the next 2 weeks is at least 1 win to pretty much guarantee where that's going to happen. And I'll tell you right now, that is guaranteed to happen because, now which week is it? Let me double check on this one. Let me double check the weeks there. There it is. Our Week 10 match. This week, we still don't know the schedule for it yet. They're still working that out. But Midnight Lizards and the EX Trainers are going to be going head to head. Yes, that's right. They have not fought yet, and this is the week that's going to happen. So once we figure that out, we will update everybody in the Zygarde League, and we'll figure out where everything's going to go there. But you might be thinking, Midnight Lizards? Well, that wasn't on the docket last time. Well, there was a Midnight Griefers. Well, the Griefers changed their names to the Midnight Lizards. So that's another update for y'all. Midnight Lizards is now here. But now we go into our bottom 4. We go to Mew World Order, the Ashen Ones, Bush Check, No Sweat. Now you're probably thinking, you're looking at these things, well, these are a bottom 4, but will they stay the bottom 4? Again, we're 2 weeks out from playoffs. That's 2 whole weeks to play. So that is this week and next week. If Mew World Order still has best shot out of everybody right now to come back into actually, no, it's Mew World Order, Ashen Ones, Bush Check, all have equal shots coming back into this, with Mew World Order having an even likelier shot because of the amount of games they've won. If Mew World Order loses a set, there we go. If Mew World Order loses a set this week or next week, then it's impossible for Arson to drop into the bottom 4. So, as long as Arson wins their Saturday match, or whenever it is they schedule for their Week 10, or Mew World Order loses one of their upcoming 2 sets, then Arson is safe. But Mew World Orders can still overtake EX Trainers and the Midnight Lizards. But only if one of these teams also happens to lose before their matchup. So if they lose next week, then that is a possibility. But again, the Midnight Lizard still has a set to play out this week. So that could also bump their odds up if they're able to take down Arson. Now, finally, we have No Sweat, sitting at 1 set win, 8 losses. Now, you might think, well, that means No Sweat's completely out, but you'd be wrong. Because, again, it's a very small chance. It would require Mew World Order, Ashen Ones, and Bush Check to all lose sets. Not just one, but both their sets, in order for No Sweat to have an opportunity. They would need, or even just lose 1 set. but No Sweat needs to win both. And they're in a bit of a pickle this week because their Week 10 matchup is none other than Thanks Gaming, our second place team, previously undefeated for 6 weeks. No Sweat has their work cut out for them. Absolutely. This is going to be a monster of a team to try to take down, but it's not impossible. Study up. Don't give up. You got this. And their Week 11 set, let me double check that for you, is going to be against Ashen Ones. Ooh, so that's a very important matchup as well, because because if they beat Ashen Ones, that increases their odds of getting into a top 8 position. But they would only be able to do this if EX Trainers, or the Midnight Lizards or the EX Trainers drop both their games. They would only be able to do this if they dropped both their games. If either one of these teams doesn't drop both their games, then No Sweat does not have a chance of coming into this. But again, that's also with the this is also again looking at the stats before we played out our final match. So we have all our teams in the lobby here though, so we should be ready to go here shortly. All right, so we have both teams in the lobby of 5. We got 2 subs in. We got Griff subbing in for Shiggy Wiggy because Slimp is out. And we have Zoro got lost because Purple got lost. So, there we go. All right. That's always good, though. That's always fun. All right. Now, let's make sure we are popped in. We're ready to go. Our teams are good and proper there. So, hang on. We got going to choose Cramorant. Change it to NA03. Let's go NA03. Okay, let's see. Now we're just double checking to make sure. We had a request to change. Perfect. We had a request to change it, and both teams are good with it. So heck yeah. NA03 server it is. See, we're not monsters. We're back in tournament mode too this week, guys. I'm so excited. So excited to be back in tournament mode because it has been... Oh, no problem, Mystic. No problem. We're always good at that. I see the thank you there. All right, Skeleton Pie says they are ready to go. We're waiting for the ready check from the side of Shiggy Wiggy, and then we're going to get this game underway. But yeah, so again, like, our teams are not completely gone for it. But also, you have to keep in mind as well, Shiggy Wiggy and Tempo still also have their Week 9 matches to play out, which we're going to bring you live tonight, today, this week on Thursday. Shiggy Wiggy and Tempo will be going in for... Awesome. Well, thank you for the follow. I super appreciate it, my man. Let me get that name there. Why does that not show me? Oh, that's because I'm not in my StreamYard manager. All right, but our teams are ready, so we're going to get the show on the road. So here we go, and game number 1 is underway. We have our names wrong, though, so we're going to flip those. Bush check is your purple team in the first pick slot. Shiggy Wiggy is in your second pick slot tonight for game number 1. All right. And Fenrir Verde, thank you for the follow. I super appreciate it. Go Calvary. Wow, we got some fans in here already. Heck yeah, we love to see it. All right, already we're going to see Lucario coming out here as a ban, and we see that Hoopa. Not going to be Mega Lucario, because Mega Lucario is currently banned. But Empoleon is also banned. Ah, psych. We have a 2-week moratorium on all brand new Pokemon being released into the Zygarde League. So Empoleon is not legal yet, but it will be for week 11. But we're going to look at this. We're seeing Lucario Hoopa ban. We do not want to see whatever it is Shiggy Wiggy can do with Lucario. Hoopa's just good, staple, solid ban. Get the heck out of there. Leafeon's going to be gone, and because we're not first pick, let's get Suicune gone too. Leafeon is a very powerful early gamer, so you want to make sure that that's just gone, and it's an ults farmer. That's all it is. Like, it just comes out, it just Unite moves a whole bunch. If you think it's Emerald 2-step, it should be Emerald Quad-step. Let me tell you just how many often you get that. But you have Raichu for the side of Bush Check being locked in first. Typically, that's dangerous to be able to lock in that kind of a damage Pokemon first pick. But if you are known for a Pokemon, fear that it's going to be picked out away from you, and you want that brought in guaranteed, definitely pick it. Raichu is a powerful Pokemon indeed. I'm not sure I'd pick it over Venusaur personally, but Raichu is a lot harder to counter than Venusaur would be, because it means you're more committed into that role of trying to counter the Raichu, whereas overall, yeah, whereas, like, let me try to think. Whereas Venusaur, it's like, yeah, no. Venusaur, I see a Venusaur, I'm going Talonflame, 100% every time. Anytime I can, I'm going to go with that Talonflame, I'm going to go for that burst damage, I'm going to go for something to try to get the KO on it. But we do have that Snorlax Blissey combo coming out from Shiggy Wiggy. That is bulky, that is dangerous. And we also have Pawmot and Miraidon. Oh, Pawmot's going to be an interesting pick here because it wants to brawl. It's going to use its Unite move, change to that fighter mode for 8 seconds, but its Unite move does not charge normally like other Unite moves do. So you need to brawl, you need to fight with Pawmot in order to get that charge up. Miraidon is going to be a nice counter to say, hey, you know what? We're going to go, or nice, not a counter, but a check for Raichu. Still gives them that range, still gives them a great deal of mobility, or so not flexibility. Gives them a great deal of flexibility to be able to pivot from long range and close range up combat, especially when you lock in that Blaziken. But Bush Check is not done. We have Crustle. I love it. Crusty Boy with Garchomp. That's going to be a nasty, nasty front line. But we're not done there because Bush Yoga locking in the Eldegoss and Demo the Demon on that Absol. So Absol is definitely a target pick there. Slimp is a demon on that Absol, and they play for the side of Shiggy Wiggy. That is where Griff comes in. Griff is subbing in for Slimp here tonight. But Slimp's, that's the other thing. Slimp is not here tonight. So do we have an Absol player on the side of Shiggy Wiggy? Don't know, but I guess we're also don't care because Absol is just that powerful a Pokemon, especially with that X attack. We're just going full throttle on this one. But that's enough for me on that. Here we go into game number 1. Bush Check, your purple team, and we have... Oh, we have a crash. Hang on. We have a crash. I see that. All right, we have a crash, so we're going to pause that there. we are going to double check to make sure they can load in if they haven't loaded it in already. We're going to try to avoid a reset if possible. Teams only get 1 reset per set, so we want to make sure that we can avoid a reset if possible. So over there, we can just keep going. So we got the game paused. We're trying to get whoever crashed back in. All right. They're back in. We love to see it. Now we're just waiting for them to see if we're able to be unpaused. All right, let's unpause. Let's resume the battle. 3, 2, 1, and we are away. I want to make sure everybody is aware of the pause, of how that's going to function and work, so that everybody knows when we're coming in. Nothing's worse than like when it's just when your admins or everyone just treats it like a solo queue player's ho ult. You're just like, oh well, I'm dead. I guess I just gotta wait for some. Oh wait, stuff's happening. I'm back in the action. And speaking of the action, nice tackle from Cavalry there, but we almost get taken down by the Pikachu. Meanwhile, up in this top lane here, we do have Resurrection with this Palmy in the hands of Mystic. But Garchomp, Zoro got lost. Well, I guess he did get lost because that's a funny-looking Zoro arc if I ever saw one. That's a tiny little Gibble. Got lost on the way to the Garchomp pick. But Griff is already up top, but so is Demo. Huge damage coming on Griff, denying them the ability to be able to engage further without high risk of being KO'd. 850 birds are now in action. They're in play. Griff trying to get on the other side, kidnaps them. Demo goes in, trying to rely on that and takes the KO down on the Combuskin. We also follow up with the Palmy, Mystic, Resurrection, and Griff all taken down. That is a lot of experience, and not just experience, but time taken away from the side of Shiggy Wiggy. Check's already going straight for these Natus here. Going to be a level 7 Absol here as we get the 20-second timer left on this. We have a KO onto this. But we have a KO on this. Yeah, we do. Miraidon gets a KO onto this Pikachu. I was going to try to say Raichu, but I was like, Pikachu, Raichu? Couldn't think of the name, but Miraidon grabbing a KO on that Raichu there. Level 7, so top lane might have gone incredibly well, but bottom side, not so good. This Regidrago is on the board here. Team-wide experience and a scoring buff to the team that takes it. And already we have Shiggy Wiggy on this. Blaziken and Palmy already ripping it down. Resurrection coming in because, hey, you can't you can't be in an objective fight without the best objective secure in the world with that Blissey. We have Crustle finally evolving into a real character. Now, in order to be a real character, you just got to gain 5 levels there. Already we have a nice dive in from Cavalry there on that Snorlax. Powerful pick coming in. We have Palmo just struggling into the top lane here, but that's all they're doing is keeping vision, keep them up there. Palmo takes a KO on the Absol in the top lane as points rain down into the bottom. What's going on up there? Let's go take a look. Mystic GG already level 8. Garchomp online, though. We don't have our Unite move. We have to be very careful. And that is the Supercell Slam that was recently buffed in the most recent patch notes. But with that level 9, our rip capabilities are increased dramatically. Zoro got lost on the way to Regieleki, picked up Garchomp instead. Now is here with the Eldegoss Crustle combo. Lots of healings, lots of shields coming out for the side of Bush Check. But, oh, there goes the Palmo. Palmo going to take down that Raichu. The Bliss Assist coming in on it now. Takes down the takes down that Garchomp. Blaziken going to handle the Regieleki, but Regieleki's going to go in, dropping the pad down to 1. 79 to 108 as more points rain in. 25, 40, and a big old 30 from the Blissey herself. That's right. The Blissey himself is going to be able to grab that and get it done. We love good Blissey players. But now this is going to move Shiggy Wiggy to 203 to 79. We went from just barely having a lead to having a massive lead in the blink of an eye. Bushcheck is probably wondering what the heck happened in the last 40 seconds, because this is a massive power swing. Speaking of power swings, we're already coming into another engage there. Eldegoss Crustle Garchomp already down. Absol Grunt trying to grab that Excelgor, does get it, but is on the hunt by the Blaziken. Gonna take it down with the Midnight Slash. That Unite move, so powerful in a single target. You have to group up to deny it coming in. We do have that Pawmot trying to get a cheeky 23 in. Not gonna work, but the Supercell Slam is gonna go over the wall and allow it to escape. Blissey looking to reconnect with it. 10 seconds until we have our Basement Reggie back in action. Let's see who it is. Knock, knock. Who's there? Registeel. That's who. Nice attack, special attack buff for the side that's going to be able to take this, and it looks like our Bush Checkers want it. Nice Unite moves coming out, but Blissey with the secure. You gotta hand it to the Blissey. When it comes to helping hand, one of the strongest secure moves in Pokemon Unite. Also one of the most underrated. So Resurrection, great job living up to the Blissey legacy. Blaziken's coming in on Griff here, diving in. Nice overheat, setting it up with an eject to take down the Crustle Garchomp combo. With Miraidon getting the credit for those KOs. Absol once again the only one left up. There's a problem for the side of Bushcheck where they only have one Pokemon left after a massive team fight. I mean, it's great. It could be worse. Could be 5 down instead of 4, but the Midnight Slash going to come out. The overheat getting canceled there somehow. I didn't even see it go off there. Maybe it just went off and we just never called it. But Abs is going to come in and take down that Blaziken with the Garchomp. Blissey also down, taken down by the Raichu. Regilecki just kind of hovering up top, being like, yo, I'm a character too. I'm up here, I'm objective, I'm useful. But Shiggy Wiggy doesn't want to take it. They're looking for an opportunity to get either onto this tier 2 and break it, or to make it closer to this here. Hang on, guys. Sorry, I gotta do something. Woo! Alright, sorry about that. My apartment does not do very good with smoke, with cigarette smoke shit. So somebody's smoking out in the hallways or whatnot, so I have to close the doors because I am allergic to that stuff. Can't breathe. And I'm very short of breath. But I guess that's just what this game is. Breathtaking. Because they just steal my breath away. Now, I missed whoever got that Regilecki, but it looks like it went to the side of Shiggy Wiggy. So that is interesting. But 47 for 46 over into the top here. 126 for the side of Bushcheck to 274. Reg Ice is going to go to the side of Shiggy Wiggy. So heck yeah. There you go. That's what the Shiggies need. Miraidon almost to a massive level 14. Palma is looking for that 14. Already getting the farm coming in, trying to capture these wild Pokemon in time. Meanwhile, Shiggy Wiggy's taking up a nice spread out position within the pit, looking for vision. And it looks like Bushcheck's just going to take the rip. 3 seconds down. Look at all those Electro Balls on top. Boom! Already on top of it. We have the Thunderstorm Aerial coming out on top. The Midnight Slash. We're going straight for it. Coming in. Do we get it? The Blaziken with the overheat. And the 1, 2, 3, 4 knockout. Raichu's doing everything they can, but it's not enough. That is a complete team wipe for Shiggy Wiggy. They tried for the flip. They didn't get it. Just break the pad and go. You get slowed down by that. 1, 2, 3, 4 burgers coming in for Shiggy Wiggy. Putting that at 754 to 126. It's definitely a hard fight to be in, but Zygarde League rules do say you can't surrender at this point because the points do, in fact, matter. So our team, Shiggy Wiggy, will be looking to score as many points as possible. But hey, you never know. Weirder things have happened. Within a minute, we might see a whole lot of points come in from the side of Bushcheck. We might see massive KOs. We could see anything that comes in. And still, even then, you want to make sure you get as many KOs as possible. And again, Bushcheck doesn't need to win all of their matches here. They just need to win one of their matches in the next 2 weeks. To be in a good position here to get into the top, top 8. And they only need to win the sets. That doesn't matter if they drop 2 games here. As long as they win 3, you're in. And that could apply to any of the sets. But 978 to 126. Oh my gosh, look at this. We got big and we got bad. Look at that. We didn't break 1,000 though. I'm very disappointed, Shiggy Wiggy. Come on. You can do better than that. I know you can. All right, and there we go. Look at that. Look at this damage here. We have 51k to 43, 29, 75, 79, and 44. All of the damage was locked in on Emotional Aid and Mystic GG. We'll take a look at the score report here. We were actually not doing a whole lot of scores. Look at the plateaus here. We were once we got way ahead, the need for scoring or the opportunities for scoring kind of dried up for both teams. There was defenses going on. We didn't really see a need for it. Once we got the Registeel though, we made a push into a pad, got another 70-odd something points. That's kind of where we sat until Groudon came, and we just took it and scored. Overall, not a bad game, but this is only game number 1. Bushcheck still in this, so let's go see if we can't get into game number 2. All right, we have both teams ready. I just got here. They're not swapping sides. We're ready to go. All right, let's get this show on the road. Look at that, game number 2. You're probably thinking, well, why do you change the scenes? Because we have trolls in the chat. I always see trolls in the chat. Always see trolls in the chat. Y'all will input the code you see and come into the admin slot with me. Flip into Blaze. Blissey is, Rat and Absol ult was too early. I think they were just going for the burn, absolutely. But yeah. And yeah, flip into Blissey Blaze was definitely interesting, but if you kind of know where the enemy is and you're trying to set up, I think they were expecting the Electro Ball to do more damage to Groudon than it actually did. But we're going to pivot off of Hoopa for Bushcheck, getting rid of that Palmot. Palmot too powerful. And we're going to get rid of the Lucario. Make sure that Pokemon is gone. And first picking Snorlax. We said, listen, Raichu's a problem in the hands of Shiggy Wiggy. And we have a good Raichu, but we might have to give it up. And then he just said, listen, it didn't work for us. Now we got to go for the Snorlax. Snorlax is a very smart first pick. So is the Hoopa. Oh my gosh. 2 picks they did not want Shiggy Wiggy to have, and they got them from that first pick scenario. So we have Hoopa playing on the side of Shiggy Wiggy, as well as that Raichu. That is going to be nasty. But we're coming back in with Zoro got lost on the Buzzwole. That's still not a Zoroark. I think bro needs to figure out where the speedsters are. Someone should tell him. I'm not gonna, because this is funny. But we have Yoga coming in on that Eldegoss. Eldegoss, one of my favorite supporters, I'm not gonna lie. And it's always so relevant. When Blissey is gone, actually that's kind of crazy. Blissey is there and you take Eldegoss instead? I kind of like it though. Eldegoss has always been a great partner for Buzzwole. The basic attack output that it's able to dish out pairs so well, especially if you're able to give it the the Excavalier buff super early, which is the red buff. Gives you a movement speed reduction on all targets you hit with your autos. It's so strong. And coming in with the Blaziken, being able to pair that there, the Cotton Cloud Crash, what do you call it there? The Pollen Puff. So strong. And then Inteleon to counter out the Venusaur there. Inteleon most likely going to be Snipe Shot. Not a lot of dive options to get on top of it. So we do have Serena here for the side of Shiggy Wiggy. That is going to be a dangerous Pokemon to get on top of. But as long as Buzzwole, Snorlax zone properly, maybe even Eldegoss if we go Cotton Spore, I think Serena's will find they have a hard time getting on the Inteleon. But we have Umbreon here on Cavalry. Very strong pick, getting rid of a lot of shields. We have Griff on the Venusaur, which I think is probably one of the strongest Pokemon there. You can play it either way. You can play it with the Petal Dance Giga Drain. You can play it with the Solar Beam and the Sludge Bomb. Or, I know you're gonna hate this, Captain, but if you want to be crazy, Petal Dance Sludge Bomb. Although I really wouldn't recommend that one. That one just doesn't. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that one. It's a thing you can pick. How's that? It's a thing you can pick. But whether you're Giga Dance or whether you are a Beam Bomb, you are going to be dealing a lot of damage. But we're getting into game number 2. Bush check your purple team, Shiggy Wiggy, your orange team. So let's follow this bottom lane once more and see what shenanigans Rev and Skeleton can get up to. We have Emotional Aid and Cavalry, a dreaded duo there. Nice tackle from the Snorlax and be able to secure that Bunnelby there. Now we're looking to get this other Bunnelby up. Snorlax going to start hitting it. We do have the last hit on the Intel, and there it is! Little Sobble's going to pick up that. Now we have Mystic already needed to use the Magician Berry, which was taken from the top side of Bush Check here. All of these tiny little Natus going to go to Mystic there, evolving them into Steenie. That's going to be very important because now we're 2 levels away. We can't get level Evo locked onto our level 5. But there he goes, Demo coming with the drive-by Blaze Kick. Pops in, takes them out, and goes home. Buzzwole, unfortunately, not able to say the same. Now we're going to have Demo get on the other side and grab these all up. We have to give what the big bird to Griff here. But we take all of the little birds for ourselves, and that is the way to go. Eldegoss is so broken, don't sleep. Oh, absolutely not. Eldegoss is a goat, and I will love it forever. My first supporter Pokemon that I played on, and one that I will always be a fan of. Definitely wasn't the first one I got the gold badge on, though. I was very sad. But we have Regidrago coming in 15 seconds here. We have Zoro got lost, finally hitting that level 5. That means we do have that superpower here. We are still scared of the Hoopa there, and it's going portals, which is probably the reason why we're terrified of it. Venusaur is now a character. And it is the dreaded beam, but Snorlax coming with a nice heavy slam. No block yet, but getting backed up by Yoga. Gonna be taken down on this Venusaur, though! Zoro's also gonna get gotten taken down. 3-man push into Drago with no follow-up from the rest of the team. Bush Check needed that, but we also didn't have Inteleon, and Blaziken needed stacks. So it's a very rough situation to find yourself in. Rev is still level 5. We have great engages from those heavy slams, but we're not able to fully capitalize on them without the block. But speaking of fully capitalized, we are up in the top lane here. Blaziken has been dunking small points, getting those stacks. It puts it at level 8. It's fully online as a character. Now we just got to hit those spikes. But Venusaur's in the top. B misses everything, but nice block there from Bush Yogurt as a deterrent onto that overheat. Venusaur is a threat, throwing down beams. We aren't exactly hitting anything with these beams, but it is acting as a dissuader. You can kind of see reticle where the beam is going and then make your decision to be like, whoa, I gotta back off. Whoa, I gotta go. Nice eject, heavy slam. And again, without the block, we aren't able to follow up. The Hoopa's able to portal away, and we just give up that KO for free. Blaziken now going to dive in. The overheat is here. The Thunderstorm Arrow going on top. We back out as Blaziken. We could have took the last hit on the Regirock, but we didn't. We prioritized trying to run away inside the mean look. Umbreon's so mean, putting them in a room like that, sending them back to Nurse Joy and the time out. Cavalry sitting there thinking, you know what? I got to put you in a room, put you in a timeout. Someone's got to be the adult here. Nice Wish being able to help mitigate any snipe shots from Skeleton Pie. Huge Solar Beam secure from the side of Shiggy Wiggy on Griff there as Regieleki crashes towards the T1 pad. We have Eldegoss going down as well as the Buzzwole. No Unite moves on either of those Pokemon, which is going to make this really, really rough. No jump pads either. 23 points coming in from Serena. 30 points from Resurrection. Can we get the Unite move? We do! Resurrection now online at level 9. We do have that Unite move. The Ring's Unbound, which means anywhere on the map, Shiggy Wiggy could appear thanks to this Hoopa. Skeleton Pie going to be missing another snipe shot there onto Cavalry. And another one. I'll tell you, that it's harder to aim than you think. It's harder to aim than you think. But nice coming in here with the Electro Ball. Nice damage on Rev there. One of those is massive. But unlike the previous engages we've seen with Rev, this time, Rev has that block. They are ready to come in and they're ready to cause a lot of mayhem. 28 seconds till the bottom. Reggie decides to reveal themselves and show us what they are. Solar Beam going to be push checked by not bush checked, surprisingly enough. Snorlax coming in with a block, trying to escape. Nice slow there. Engage on the miss. Lots of damage coming in as the Power Nap comes through. Huge Solar Beam coming out, but the Cloud Crash comes in, trying to mitigate the damage, but Eldegoss has so many targets it's not able to because the Venusaur is putting in so much damage. Now Hoopa comes in with the Rings Unbound, stuns and teleports for days. Because if anybody needs a quick getaway, they can just go straight to that portal. Well, not anymore. It's gone now. But if they did at the time, they could have. Now we're going to move in on Reg Ice. We will not have a second Reg Ice again, or second basement Reggie this match. Well, we will have it about 5 seconds before. Pardon the yawning. We're talking too much, too quickly, too fast. We can't breathe. But that is, if we will not have another basement Reggie in time. Like, we have 5 seconds left on it, but that's not really a whole lot of time to rip it. I mean, if you have everybody there from the side of Shiggy Wiggy, you could. But Regieleki's just going to get got in the top side by the Sabrina alone. Bushcheck's going to be moving in to try to take the Regidrago. For 5v4 push, this is exactly what you need. Blaziken going to secure it, get away on 1 HP in a dream. The Verdant Anger Solar Beam combo from Grip, not going to be enough to take it down. But once again, Rev put in a room. Cavalry said, listen, you got to go on timeout. We're going to eject into the Solar Beam from Grip. That was well-timed and well-aimed. You could tell what was going through Rev's head. He just went, oh, poop. Except he probably didn't say that word. Just saying. He's like, oh, man. Ah, shoot. Ah, shucks. Any amount of odds that are family friendly. Because, you know, that's what Pokemon Unite is. It's a family friendly game. Already we have Shiggy Wiggy moving through the middle here. 40 seconds till Groudon appears with 311 to 41. Shiggy Wiggy has claimed a massive level lead, as well as actually not massive level lead, a massive point lead though. And both of their pardon me there. And both of their light bulbs are looking pretty good. Cavalry kind of slaying on the Umbreon? They are indeed. They are indeed slaying on this Umbreon. They're doing a very great job here. And I know that comes in 2 minutes behind, but yeah, no, they are doing a great job. Both teams are doing really, really strong right now too. Rav has great engages from the Snorlax, but we keep taking massive amounts of damage from getting locked into a mean look and then Solar Beamed by the Venusaur. We have to look at some ways to preserve our HP because our Eldegoss isn't able to output a lot of Pollen Puffs. Serena is already tapping that Groudon, but with no vision on from the side of Bushcheck. For all they know, they're ripping it. That will incite panic within Bushcheck there, so we have to make sure we are following through. A lot of Electro Balls coming out to help mitigate and zone. Now we're already starting to hit damage here. Again, that's a lot of damage coming in that bottom lane. Nice Solar Beam. Going to be hitting Intelia. Again, Yoga has their work cut out for them. We have the rip. We have the secured. We got to look for the Venusaur. There it is. The Venusaur angle taken down. The Rings Unbound come out, but already chunked down to half. Our bulky HP on the Hoopa is already gone, but Blaziken is down. Centalion is down. Buzzwole is down. As quickly as it happened, the reverse flip came in. Snorlax and Rev, the only one up. Can they do it? Serena said no. Listen, before you go down, I will stomp all over you. According to IMAX, that is a dream for some people. I don't know if it's a dream for Resurrection. I don't know if it's a dream for Mystic. But according to IMAX, it is for some people. Well, 5-11 to 141. This game is not over yet, but it looks like Bushcheck is saying, nah, we ain't going to defend this. All these scores are going to go in. Guys, don't give up. I promise there's a way into this. Groudon may be gone, but the buffs are still here. All you got to do is grab the KOs. Well, we have 5 seconds left. Game number 2 is going to go to Shiggy Wiggy. Now let's get that updated. Well, what a great game from both teams so far. Like, we've seen a lot of good things, and that was a very close call. It's fine if it's 2 minutes. They still slaying. Oh, they absolutely are. But yeah, look at that. 59K from Skeleton Pie. 91K from Griff. But Emotional Age said, 119 cap. And yeah, look at that. Serena did 42. Hoopa 38. We didn't get a whole lot of damage off from the side of Shiggy Wiggy because Venusaur and Raichu were just all over this. 10 KOs for Raichu, but 10 assists from Venusaur. Venusaur said, you might got 10 KOs, but I helped you with every single one of them. But what a game, what a set so far, what a match. Now Shiggy Wiggy is in match point position. So this is going to be really interesting, to say the least, to see how our teams are going to come back from this. So let's head back to our Just Chatting scene. Wow, it's my beautiful face! My beautiful artificially, what is it? It's not artificially generated, but like, I don't know, artificial, it's not my real face, all right? It's a fake face. That's what I was going with. And then I was like, wait, I gotta watch my words because AI art is a real thing, but this isn't AI, so yeah, shoot. Well, I mucked that one up, but that's okay. That's what we're here for, to muck things up, for better or for worst. All right, we're seeing if they want to change first or second coming into game number 3. Shiggy Wiggy is in match point scenario. All right, but our teams are now deciding if they want first or second pick. We've made the offer from Shiggy Wiggy. Now we got to figure out what Bushcheck wants because they are in the position to do this. It's not over yet. We have seen plenty of games in the Zygarde League come back and say, listen, you might have got 2 on us, but those were just warm-up games, my friend. We're going to 3-0 you the rest of the set. That's very well. Those first 2 games may not even matter, though they don't exist inside of Bushcheck's head. Now they're going to be like, all right, we 3-0 this set and go from there. The first 2 was just warm-up. That's all it is. Get the audience hyped. Get everybody going. We're ready to go. All right, our teams will swap. Bush checks going into second pick for game number 3. So there we go. Gonna move some point stuff around. But guys, I hope you're excited because again, I super heck am. Can I spell Wiggy right? It's a made up word, I know. But can I still spell it right? All right. So the teams are swapped, and we swapped them on the thing there too, so it should be accurate. I can't guarantee they will be centered though, so that seems to be my the bane of my existence is getting names centered on stream. But hey, you know what? We'll figure something out later. But here we go. We do have a ready check here, but while we figure out what the ready checks are, I will have to do a 1-minute ad on you guys. I do apologize, but we're trying to extend the set. We've only got 8 minutes left before pre-roll, so let's get them off and get them gone. And then you know what the funny thing is too is like after the ad break, you guys are gonna come back. You're like, wait, he played an ad, and I go, yeah, I played an ad 2 minutes ago, but it only lasted 1 minute. So technically, I announced the ad break before the ad break ended. So you know, or after the ad had already ended. So that's the strange thing with a delay and trying to announce your ads and everything like that. Is it just doesn't always line up. But I know we were talking, so I got to try to make sure we at least get that talking coming in there. So I did make sure. How are the standings looking? We will go over the standings once more after we are done with our teams. All right, sorry. All right, our ad break is now over. He says 3 minutes after the ad break is ended, so on and so forth. All right, but we're still waiting for a ready check from our Shiggy Wiggies. Yo, Alpha Conquer, thank you for the gifted sub. I super appreciate that. Automatic 01 coming in with that sub, getting that gifted. So heck yeah, make sure you say thank you for that. Generic is not generic. Should have been there for my team. Oh man, no worries. It happens sometimes, but unfortunately, Zygarde League does not allow mid-set substitution, so it does happen. But our gate teams are ready. So game number 3 is underway. Shiggy Wiggy is now in first pick position. Bushcheck has said, you know what? Going first isn't worked out so well for us so far. Let's switch it up a bit. Emotional Aid already claiming, hey, I'm going to play the Raichu there. Resurrection being like, ban out the Leafeon. Demo says, get rid of the Suicune. Mystic, who are you banning? It's your ban, Mystic. Come on, Mystic. Ban something. Get something. Don't just ban nothing. It's the only character you can ban 4 times, but getting rid of that Bliss, he said, Palmok staying on the side of Bushcheck. We're saying, listen, we saw that game 1, and we say, no! Get out of here. Get it gone. So that means Cavalry is going to be free to take that first pick there. We're looking at that Snorlax. Are we going to lock that in? Are we going to say, maybe something else? Nah, Snorlax all the way. That was just a bait and switch. Rev is now going to be able to pick their Pokemon there as well as Yoga. Demo swapping with Demo to get that Venusaur. Just shows you how powerful Venusaur was in that game 2. Very strong Pokemon coming in with a 96k or something like that. 91, 92. Somewhere. 90 something K. That was a lot of damage coming in. Rev going to be locking down the Umbreon. 2 powerful picks taken away from the side of Shiggy Wiggy. But because we banned the Suicune and we said no to Palmot, guess who's making it in? Lucario with that with that Raichu. We're saying, we know you want to play them. We know you want to get rid of them. You're having them. They're ours. I'm going to make you sigh and sweat, says Shiggy Wiggy. Comfey with the Zacian is going to be locking in on this. But hey, Zacian starts with a Z, so, I mean, Zoro's getting closer. It feels like we're almost there. But that Comfey with Zacian, it used to be such a busted combo. Most people are very disgusted by it back in the days when Zacian was still an EX Pokemon. Oh my gosh, that was only a year ago, folks. It feels like, I'll tell you right now, being EX free for a year, blessings upon ye. Blessings upon ye. It's so good. It's so flippin' good to not have EXs in the game, because it no longer feels like no matter what we do, we are forced to deal with these overpowered characters. Whoa! Ladishells, thank you for the sub with the Prime! Hype Train has started, level 1. Let's go! Never got there so before, so woohoo! First ever Hype Train. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. But we are going to be seeing that Clefable with the Charizard coming in for the side of Shiggy Wiggy. Charizard is a very powerful Pokemon still. It got a slight nerf on, I think it was Fire Blast and, what is it? Flamethrower, Fire Blast, and I think Flare Blitz got a little hit. But I don't think they were strong enough hits to say, well, this Pokemon's no longer busted, because the main mechanic that got tweaked is still in effect. So I think Charizard's going to be a very powerful Pokemon all the same here. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see how this is going to come down. But hey, we followed Cavalry and Emotional Aid all this time. So let's go see what's going topside. Mystic and Resurrection with Lucario and Clefable against Zacian and Comfey. Two Pokemon that are very powerful in lane, able to exert a lot of pressure. Nice healing from the Comfey. We already had to eject on Mystic there to get into that home pad there. They said, listen, we had to pull it down a little bit. Steadfast going to save me. But I'll tell you right now, Zoro's definitely wishing they got that KO, but they're still in this. Look at that. We dip in, we try to get it, but we dip out with nothing on that Lucario. But Zacian now has to try to get a lot of this farm. They've already burned 5 points of it. They're going to get 5 more, but there's Demo into the lane to help them. Charmeleon and Griff coming up here to even it up into that 3v3. And yes, it is 3v3. I know Comfey's not exactly a body you can see on the map, but it's there. It's a character. It's a person, sort of. But all right, right there on Mystic is diving deep, gets taken down by Zoro. Now Demo is here coming in to help support. Now we're gonna go touch grass. Yoga touch grass for the first time in ages, it feels like, bro. Gonna get those flower stacks up to 8. As we now move into the bottom lane here. Let's go check out what Emotional and Cavalry up to. Let's go see what Skeleton and Rev are up to. We finally get level 5 on Rev. We're 18 seconds away from the Zacian, the Regidrago. Clefable's finally a character now. And we do have that Metal Claw coming out from Zoro. Level 6 to the level 5 on Mystic. That is very powerful. But instead of going for the Drago, we're going straight for the stacks. We're going to hit the farm, we're going to knock it up, and we're just going to go straight for the score. Right there, and there's another stack. Boom, boom. Can we hit it? Yeah, we get it. Regidrago's going to go down right to Zacian. That's a huge pointage right into its pocket that it desperately needed. It was getting low on points, and when you have that 20 boost into your pocket there, that's always great. Venusaur is very brave here, but what can you expect? It's Pedal Dance Giga Drain. Is it Giga Drain? Hang on, we gotta check. All right, listen. I mean, we had to check. We didn't actually have to check, but we also had to check because I'll tell you right now, players in the Zygarde League, they're crazy. They'll play some unorthodox stuff at the randomest of times, or maybe even to a misclick. Oh, but the Venusaur goes down. We're trying to get this done. Zoro's diving in with the Comfey, but it's not going to be enough with the slow smoke there to help try to slow them down, get those attack speed down. But Charizard's laying down the pressure, laying down the fire. Zacian is trying, but nice block on the Clefable, stopping the Metal Claw in its tracks. Trying to rip it down, but trying to get onto this. We are going at it. Zacian proving they can 2v1 going against the Clefable and to the Lucario here, but saying, hey, I can't do much against the Charizard with them as well. Skeleton's High saying, you know what, I got you, bro. It is going to be Rev against Emotional Aid in the bottom lane here, but Demo's coming down to support. Zacian's going to rip that Regirock and say, you know what, we got this. That's going to be our guy there as we dive in on the Snorlax looking for a pick. Snorlax Clefable being hampered up in the top lane, but so is the Zacian, the Comfey, and the Guard of War. This means Regieleki is now open. Venusaur might not be beams, but it's still a threat to reckon. Raichu is already starting to barrel on down on this Regieleki. Rev dives in. We're looking for that engage. Venusaur go with it. There it is. Nice KO on that. We have that Verdant Anger coming out as Gardevoir secures the Regieleki, sending this back towards Shiggy Wiggy. Whatever the magic is that's happening on the side of Bush Check. Guys, keep it up. We are biased and want a game 5. We're biased. We need a game 5. Hyde needs his fix. And only a game 5 can cure the fix. Otherwise, we might actually have to play this game ourselves. Oh no. Alright, but we have a nice big old brawl down in the bottom lane. Seismic Slant coming out on top of the Gardevoir, but the Gardevoir's going to get away right to this tier 2 pad. Lucario's going to come out with its own Unite move, push back, but we don't have the power down here. Rev goes down with the Umbreon there, sending them back, and without the Zacian Comfey combo with the 4-man push from Shiggy Wiggy was just too powerful. 147 to 30. The level lead, not there. The point lead is actually manageable. Bushcheck is back into this match, and I'll tell you right now, Zoro got lost in the top lane because they haven't left this lane here. But nice Sovereign Sword coming out. Gonna be doing no damage though because of any shields, heals, and all that other fun stuff there. The power now coming from the Snorlax. There's Rev, puts him in a room. Now we're gonna see the Moonlight Prance come through as Snorlax comes in for the engage. 1, 2, 3 down for the side of Bushcheck as we go for a valiant defense and an effort here. But we don't have the Fairy Singularity, which means massive points are coming in. 197 to 30. Again, not the bulky lead that we think that we got, but better than nothing. And I'll tell you, 167 points, that is nothing to scoff at. Especially with the Regieleki taken at about the 420 mark. That means you've got about 20-ish seconds, 15, 20 seconds to rip the Regieleki and send it towards the tier 2 pad. But already Regidrago is going to go straight to the Lucario, the Verdant Anger we tried for and failed. Down here in the bottom. Oh, I said Regieleki, but that was in the top side. That wasn't Regieleki up top. That's old habits dying hard, folks. Old habits dying hard. That was instead Regirock up on the top there. Meanwhile, back here we do have Griff and Emotional Aid. Going to be following this Regieleki down with the Cavalry. This means this will not be, and there will not be another Regieleki barreling towards them during the Groudon fight, which is very good news for Bushcheck because they can't afford that right now. No wild Pokemon on their side of the field. We're 1 minute and 18 seconds away, so we have to find a way to get back into this match. And one of the ways we can do that is levels. Demo has to get their level 13. This is going to give them a bigger radius onto this Petal Dance, and it's what's going to allow them to trigger off more cooldowns onto their Giga Drains. But they're already on the way to do it, so I mean, they could be there very shortly. Yep, they're going to be 13. They can just tick into it. Zacian, though, and the Gardevoir also need their 13s. Zacian needs to start getting some levels here. That red buff is up. Snorlax trying to go for a cheeky back cap there with the 40 there, but Demo says, I'm here. You can't get an eye on me there, but the Raichu comes in with the Electro Ball. Lucario diving in now with the Gardevoir helping out. Skeleton Pie, you got to get your 13, man. Come on. We got Farm. We got wild Pokemon. We got this. All right, that means it is going to be about 16 seconds to rip Registeel. This is a beautiful objective for any team in a power position, which Shiggy Wiggy is in. But they don't have the team there to rip it, which means they can't go for the rip. But Zoro is going to take a nice power position to try to catch him up top, but going to get huge damage coming in. Venusaur's coming in with the Comfey now. They're saying, hey, listen, I got the Comfey, I got the Pedal Dance, I got the Giga Drains. Very Singularity going to come in. Lucario's going to go down, but so is the Zacian and the Umbreon. Venusaur's getting got by the Charizard here. Nice. Solar Giga Drain's going to come in, but it's not going to be enough. Comfey's going to go down with it. Only Gardevoir and Umbreon remain. We got to get something here. The Groudon is here. Gardevoir does not have Unite move, so we have to try to time this well. Cavalry sees where the Gardevoir is. We're already coming in. We're coming through, but here comes Zoro. Zoro got lost on the way to Groudon, but they got the Sovereign Sword. Get the secure! Absolutely what Bush Check needed. Now they have 4 people up, 5 people up here. Who's got all the buffs? Gardevoir's trying to take down this, but Venusaur is here to help with the assist. 1 and 2 down for the side of Shiggy Wiggies as a Hundo Burger goes in 223 to 197. We're getting back on the Comfey there. We're going for the top lane here. We got to get another one coming in. Demo coming in with the score. No, it's going to be Skeleton Pie. Take it. Take it and score. Take it and score. What are you doing? What are you doing? Score. Gosh, take it. Score. Oh my gosh. Now run. Run, run, run. Because let me tell you, you have to play the defense. No. Oh no, we're way behind. Go, Gardevoir, go. Can we get this? Go. Oh no, the Fairy Singularity. Skeleton Pie with the chase of a lifetime. On the back, 50 points going in, 297 to 323, but this is not over. Shiggy Wiggy needs another score. Let's get this done. Snorlax with the buff going straight for the top, and Venusaur is up there. Now we're going to look for the pressure in the bottom. Again, we only need 27 points. Anything can go. Raichu's going for it. They get it in. The 38 points. That's what Shiggy Wiggy needed. That's a 3-0 victory for Shiggy Wiggy after a valiant push from Bush Check after the grab. Only in the Zygarde League will you see action like this. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was so funny, though, guys. Gardevoir tried to get away. The chase and a half, when you think you're safe, but the bats just don't give you the shields and heals that you need. Or they just the half second longer you needed to survive to trigger them. But Snorlax with the heavy KO. Oh, my gosh. What a push and a half. What a game and a half. What a set. Absolutely love this. It was a joy to cast this tonight, guys. Oh my gosh. I hope both teams absolutely loved this because I loved it too. But 73k on the Lucario, 116k heals on Resurrection. Griff coming in with a respectable 39. But emotional aid causing emotional damage with 84k. Nice tanking from Cavalry and Rev. Look at those numbers, 71k and 81k respectively. Comfey coming in, 37k heals. Zoro coming in with 84 damage, 84k damage. Massive, massive damage output from them. Skeleton Pie at 73. Venusaur, the respectable 49 coming in. What a great, great set to be able to cast, guys. That was so close for Bush Check. This was the number 4 team that they had to go against. And they gave a really strong showing. But again, they're not out of it yet. And we'll show you why in a moment here. So let's go see why. Take a look at the standings. Look at these standings. Beautiful, beautiful standing. It's what I know you people are here for. Stats, stats, stats. You stat-hungry people. Stat-hungry people. Let's take a look at what these beautiful stats are looking at. So, our first 5 teams: Secret Tech, Thanks Gaming, Keedic, Shiggy Wiggy, Tempo. Ignore the fact that Shiggy Wiggy, Thanks Gaming also says first place. They're second place. Okay, sue me. I forgot to edit something. Oh my gosh. But their first 5 teams there, from 1st to 5th, absolutely guaranteed to go into playoffs in 2 weeks' time. So that's amazing. Woo! So Secret Tech, Thanks Gaming, Keedic, Shiggy Wiggy, Tempo. They could not play for this week and next week, and they will still make it in. They're guaranteed. No team's going to knock them down to the bottom 4. Arson is in a similar situation. However, one team, Mew World Order, who is in a bottom 4 spot, has an opportunity to take down Arson as long as Arson loses their game this Saturday against the Midnight Lizards and loses their next 2 sets for their week 10 and their week 11 set, because they still have to do their week 9 set. So the stats are here a little bit skewed because we're still missing 2 games, so 4 teams are not counted for all their stats. But either way, so Arson is in that position. If they lose 3 games, they lose their week 9, week 10, week 11 games, Arson is in position to be in a bottom 4 slot and could be absolutely knocked out. So that's not a position you want to be in. But if they win any of the one of their next 3 sets, they're safe. They're guaranteed to come in. Doesn't matter what placement they're in. They could end up at 8th place. They could lose 2 of the 3 sets. Doesn't matter. They would be guaranteed safe. Where we are looking a little bit more dicey here is EX Trainers and Midnight Lizards. We are safe for now, but Midnight Lizards still has to play their week 9 match against Arson, and again is taking place this Saturday. So we don't have that quite yet, but we're looking to lock that in. We can figure out what time it is. We will not be casting it, but hopefully one of the other casters within the Zygarde League will be able to pick it up. But EX Trainers does have all of their matches locked in. They do have a fight and a half ahead of them, but one of their matches is against the Midnight Lizards. So, that's going to determine who's going to be moving up into 7th or 6th spot. Because again, if the Midnight Lizards win their next set, they will move to 7th place, putting EX Trainers into the danger zone. Now, Mew World Order Ashen Ones are in position to now threaten, still Bush check, are in position to still threaten Midnight Lizards EX Trainers. So they are in position to threaten to knock them down into a bottom 4 slot. But what they need to do is they need to win one of the next 2 sets in order to do it. EX Trainers has to lose their next 2 sets. If EX Trainers and the Midnight Lizards win their next 2 sets, well, actually, it's impossible to win their next 2 sets. But if EX Trainers wins their next 2 sets, they're safe. If Midnight Lizards, let's say they win this weekend against Arson, and then they lose the next 2 games, they should still be okay. They should still be safe-ish. They should still be safe-ish. But yeah. And then we go into No Sweat. No Sweat is in probably the roughest position because it's the one that requires the most luck. Not trying to say they're out. There's still a way for them to get back into this. But it is a mountain and a half to climb, I'll tell you that. Because they have to win. They have to win their next 2 sets. Their week 11 game, so the game they're playing next week, is against Ashen Ones, which is a matchup they could very well win. Both teams very strong, but very viable. This week's, though, Thanks Gaming is their opponent, which will be taking place Friday for 9 p.m. EST, and we will be casting that one for you guys. So make sure to tune in for that one too. But Thanks Gaming, the number 2 team, is going up against No Sweat this week. If they're able to surmount this hurdle and knock down this Titan, then No Sweat has a very real shot to get back into this. But it also relies heavily on the Midnight Lizards or EX Trainers losing at least 2 games. The Midnight Lizards need to lose all 3 of their games. EX Trainers needs to lose both of their games in order for No Sweat to even have a chance. But yeah, but that's the standings as it is. But let's take a look at this week's matchups, because again, we have a lot of matchups still coming for you. So let's see who's fighting who. Oh my gosh, what's going on here? Hang on, what is going on here? Why are you all wonky like that? You know what? That's not working. Hide it. Boom. All right, it's not as pretty as we like, but this week we have Mew World Order versus Arson. That's not to be confused with the Midnight Lizards, who still have to fight Arson this weekend for their Week 9 match. So Mew World Order and Arson, that's what's happening this week. Thanks Gaming and No Sweat, Ashen Ones, and Secret Tech. Ashen Ones has another Titan that they need to slay this week in order to have a shot. Only one team has managed to take even a single game off of Secret Tech, and that is Thanks Gaming. So Ashen Ones definitely has their work cut out for them. Coming into the next one, oh my gosh. Clearly someone didn't proofread this coming into this. Otherwise, I probably would have avoided that. Hang on, let's fit to screen. My gosh. All right. But we have Tempo versus Kedic, Bush Check versus Shiggy Wiggy, which we just watched, and the Midnight Lizards versus the EX Trainers. So Midnight Lizards, EX Trainers, that is happening this week. They're already in the talks to scheduling it so that we should be able to hopefully see that very, very soon. Again, Midnight Lizards likes to schedule things on Saturday, so if it is happening on a Saturday, within about 2 hours within 8 p.m., so if it's 6 p.m. EST or later, I won't be able to cast it. But if it's sooner, I might be able to. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. Also, we have Shiggy Wiggy versus Tempo coming up this Thursday here for 9:30 p.m. EST. This is going to be another Week 9 match that we weren't able to schedule in before. So, yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed. This set tonight was absolutely fire. Bush Check not out of it yet. They're still very much into this. Going to come down to the wire. And it's going to come down to what teams. We'll know by the end of the week which teams for sure are out and which teams and whether or not our 8 slots are actually filled. But that's all for now. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed and stay tuned for the raid. See ya.